Hey you guys, how's things? Hope you guys are all hanging in there. Um, okay, so I've been working on some journals as usual, as per usual, and I started collaging the covers, and I kind of have those pretty much where I want them, but I wanted to make tags and envelopes and pockets and that kind of stuff to go in them. And I was also thinking about making just like some tag packs, like some big envelopes and then, put a bunch of tags in them and stuff like that for my Etsy shop. So I thought it might be fun if I just take you guys along on my little collaging journey, trying to use up book pages and, well, some of the book pages that I want to use, and I've had these for so long, and I don't know. I just haven't really found a project that I wanted to use these in. So these are some pages out of I can't remember the title of the book, but I won these I bought two of them in an auction on eBay, these botanical books. If I can remember the name of them, I'll go back and look at my purchase history and show you and put it in the description if I can find it. But anyway, they're just beautiful, all these book pages. So I want to use some of those, and these are pages out of a medicine book that I bought from Louise. So these are all like medicinal plants and stuff. There's the name. That's the title. So anyway, I have scanned these so I can use them again. And they're two-sided, so it's like you have to decide which side you want to use when you use them in a collage. But also, when I did the live sale, I showed you guys a dictionary that I actually, is it a dictionary or an encyclopedia? I think it's a dictionary, but it's a illustrated dictionary, and it just has these amazing illustrations in it, and they're nice big illustrations, lots of flowers, lots of birds, bugs, that kind of stuff. So I went through, I only have one of them. I think it's a set of two, but I can show you the title of it, but unfortunately I don't know the year of that it was published. So I don't know what happened to the the first couple pages of it, but it's the New Century Dictionary, and I think it's sometime in the 40s. But anyway, I went through it last night, and I tore out all of the pages that had the like pretty botanical drawings and stuff, and I wanted to, because I want to use those on these envelopes. So there was quite a few, see. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing, and I have just a little box of book pages. I went through and pulled out signatures from all of my like small books that I've been hanging on to for this purpose. So these are all just like smaller book pages. There's a couple larger ones that are things that I like to use in collage, like the interest calculator book, and this is a small interest calculator book, or no, this is something else, I don't know. Anyway, so book pages, and coffee dyed and avocado dyed envelopes. So I've got some policy envelopes. So when I dye these, I leave them in the dye bath sometimes for a couple days. And what happens is the glue that holds them together just kind of disintegrates, and you know, so you're able to open them all the way up without damaging them really. So they do sometimes kind of stick together, and you know, so some of them get, you know, ripped on the edges and that kind of stuff, but you know, that doesn't really bother me. I can still use them. So anyway, so I want to do some of those. This is just a regular envelope. Excuse me. Choking to death. And then some of these large envelopes that are avocado dyed, and then of course some smaller ones. So all of these envelopes will open up all the way. So then I can collage the whole thing. And you know, I don't know if I'll seal them back up in some way or not. I probably won't. I kind of like to have them so that they're open. Anyway, so let me just kind of reorganize my stuff here. So I pulled out some, as I'm going through my stack of encyclopedia or dictionary pages, I'm pulling out the ones where I want to just tear off that section where that image is that I want to use. Some of them have the image already like in a place where I like the placement of it if I use the whole page on the envelope. I'll talk to you more about what I mean by that. Anyway, so I'm just kind of setting some of them aside for different, just for different reasons. I'll talk about that in a minute, but you know, as I go through them. Anyway, so let's just do one of these. This is kind of like watercolor paper, and this is coffee dyed. And I actually do iron my envelopes after they're dyed, so they get as flat as possible. So one thing that I did want to point out is when you want your, so this is how the envelope goes, right? So you kind of want your images or your text or whatever to be upright when the envelope is closed back up, right? So the way to do that is to actually just open it up like that, open it all the way up, and then flip it. So the bottom of the envelope is on the top, and the top of the envelope is on the bottom. And that's how, so that when you close it back up, everything sits back up the right way. You know what I mean? Anyway, so here's what I'm talking about with that image. So this will be the front. This will be on the front, and this will be on the front. This section and this section. So I just want to sort of situate this page so that at least most of that image is either going to be on this part or on this part, you know. And I'm going to be covering up a lot of the envelope with this page, and that's good. Like, that's kind of intentional. So I just sort of place it where I think I want it, and then I'm going to start at this corner right here and start applying my glue. So let's talk about this glue for a second. Amazon was out of the Amazon Basics large glue sticks, the 0.77 ounce glue sticks, and all they had were the small ones that are like 0.27 ounces or something. So I did order a box of those, but it was a pack of 60 for like $11 or something. But they're so small. It's like I use like 2 of them on each envelope, or not 2. I go through probably a half a stick just on one envelope, you know. So I also ordered these. These are the brand of this is Creativity Street. And I've never bought these before, but I actually do like them. The glue is really, it's really thick. But it's a larger size. It's 1.41 ounces. And I got a package of, I think it was 30 sticks for like $20. And I have to say, it's really nice glue, even though it's really kind of hard to use it. Like it's thick, you know. Anyway, it kind of reminds me of the Scotch Create glue, and I think it'll be really good for gluing down fabric. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know it's actually pretty good glue, and I think that the price is good too. 30 of them for like 20 bucks, you know, so less than $1 each, 75 cents or something. Anyway, so just gluing these down, and then I'm just going to go back and cover up the rest of the envelope with different pages. A lot of these are dictionaries, like small dictionaries that I have. And I do try to use like a variety of, you know, color of pages, you know, like I like to have some contrast. So it's like this glue is like really like, I don't know, creamy, I guess is a good word to describe it. Kind of creamy. Make sure that goes all the way out to the edge. Anyway, and then I have another brand of glue coming that I've never tried before either. Just want to try it, see how it is. It was a smaller package. It was like 12 sticks or something. Oh my God, I was so mad. When I was shopping for glue on Amazon, I saw a listing for the Elmer's all-purpose, or the Elmer's extra strength glue, and the picture shows a box of glue. Okay, so like, you know, makes you think that what you're going to get is a box of 12, like a dozen, you know. And I thought it was a good deal because it was like $8.99, and usually that's like, you know, $15 or something for that Elmer's extra strength glue. So when it came, it was one glue stick. I was so mad. I was like, I can't believe it. So I'm really glad that I ordered more glue at the same time. I had bought some glue at, I bought a box of, or a package of these at Target. It's the disappearing purple washable glue stick. And I just bought it because I wanted to try it. I was out of glue, so, you know, I was like kind of desperate, but, and I needed a lot. And it's okay. Like, it's not terrible. I would say, it's kind of wet. So, I don't know. But, you know, I don't know. I guess glue is glue, kind of, you know, especially if you're going to be doing other things to it, like if you're going to seal it, or like the project, you know, if you're going to seal it with something else, or if you're going to be gluing other things over the top of it, or, you know, doing some stitching on it or something like that. Anyway, so that's basically what I'm doing. I'm just covering each envelope with book pages. So then some of these smaller ones, I can use those other pages where, okay, so I need to figure out, okay, this is the way the envelope goes. So the bottom of the envelope is always going to match up to that little V on this style of envelope. So anyway, so I'm going to turn it like that. The top flap is generally a little shorter. So anyway, that's how you can kind of tell top and bottom on those. So on some of these ones where like the images are kind of in the center of the page, I'll tear those. I actually kind of like that horse too. I'll tear that, and then that way I can sort of situate it so that it's going to be on either the top or the bottom flap. So I'll just kind of eyeball where that glue needs to be. And I am trying to cover kind of a lot of the envelope with that dictionary page. There we go. And then I always just use my baby wipes, you know, to smooth everything down. As they start to dry out, I'll just take a spray bottle and spray them with a little bit of water just to dampen them again. And then once they get to the point where, you know, they're just like raggedy and they start fraying and stuff, then I'll just get a new one. But I do try to use them as much as I can. And then just using different book pages to cover up the rest of the envelope. Whoops, sometimes it kind of, paper gets soft, you know, from the water and all the glue, and kind of messy. It can be messy for sure. Oh, these little half pages. I do try to keep the table relatively clear of glue. If it gets really bad, I use this little scraper and kind of spray some water on it, and then just use my little plastic razor scraper thing. I use the other side on my stovetop, but this is nice for my desk. I have one of those, the Tim Holtz glass mats, you know, but I don't know. I just don't really like using it for some reason. It just, I don't know, it's kind of, I'd rather, I mean, because you have to clean that all the time too, so if I'm using like alcohol ink or something like that, I definitely will use that. But if I'm going to have to be wiping it off all the time while I'm working on stuff like this, I might as well just use my desk. Let's see. Just using different little pages. So these are going to be, a lot of times I try on the side flaps, I try to do the pages going like that, so that the text doesn't turn out upside down. All right. And then sometimes I'll just take one of these little pages from my little tiny Lilliput dictionaries, these little guys, and I'll just glue a page on there just because I think they look cool. And I'm going to be doing other stuff to these too, but this just gives me a nice base. And gluing the pages down also makes it more sturdy. You know, it adds strength to the avocado dyed paper. Let's do one more. Let's do one of these bigger ones. Okay, so see this one, the bottom is like straight across, and see there's pieces that are kind of ripped and stuff, but that doesn't bother me at all. Nice big piece. Let's see. I don't. Oh, look, I like that bee on the back. It's actually a hornet. It's hard to decide sometimes what side I want to use. Ah, here's a good one. There's a good one. Okay. Okay. I think one of these glue sticks goes, I don't know, it goes pretty far, but since it's so thick, it does have a tendency to, you do kind of have to, I don't know, I go through a little bit more glue, I think, because it's so sticky, you know. Anyway, how wide does that need to be? It goes out to about there. Kind of comes off a little bit chunky sometimes too if you extend it out too far. You'll get like chunks, see, like that. It's just messy, but it's fun. And then when I'm smoothing, I try to go from the center towards the edges just to avoid air bubbles. And then when I'm all done covering it, I'll turn it over and I'll go across it with this. I did a bunch of stamping of labels last night too, because I definitely want to use some labels on these. So let's see about one of those, one of these pages. I want a little bit of the writing to show on this. I'll just put it in the center because this is actually going to be the top of the envelope. Oh, I like the mushrooms. Hold on. I'm going to tear the edge off of this. Every once in a while I'll pick it up just to make sure it's not stuck to the table. Make sure this is all glued down. Okay. My gosh, everything is just beeping around here. Yeah, this glue is really thick. It's like you have to press really hard to apply it. Okay, and so I think I think I've done, I don't know, probably 20 or so envelopes already, 20 or maybe even 30. But these are going to be so cool when they're done, like to go in those journals, because the covers of the journals are kind of, they're like collage too, you know. Anyway, I wanted to do a video. I've wanted to do this for a couple days, but like I said, I was out of glue, and also I broke out in hives all over my arms, as you can still kind of see it. I don't even know what is causing the hives. I think I don't know. I thought it was like wool from using wool yarn, but it doesn't happen every time I'm using wool, so I don't know what it is. Anyway. Oops. It's some kind of allergy. I'm not taking any new medications or anything like that, so I don't know. But it's really, I don't know if any, if any of you have ever had hives, you know how awful it can be. It's like, it doesn't itch. I mean, it itches, but it doesn't like, whoops, it doesn't like swell, or it kind of becomes like bumps, like it gets like raised up, you know, but it doesn't do that really until you start scratching it. And then as soon as you scratch it, it's like, then it starts itching even more, and then it starts burning and swelling, and then it's like, it takes a couple of days for it to go down. And anyway, it's not real attractive either, just saying. Okay, let me clean up this desk just a little bit. Use my scraper. I have to do this like every 3 or 4 envelopes. All right, and then turn it over and make sure I get any air bubbles out. All right. There's a little tiny spot right there that I missed, but that's okay. it'll be all right. Okay, and then set that one up to dry. Let's see if I've got any that are pretty dry. These are all kind of damp. Hold on. This larger one might be okay. That one's still wet. That one's wet. That one feels pretty good. And that one. Okay, and then I'm gonna trim these out. Just basically fussy cut around and if you don't like watching me cutting paper, go ahead and fast forward because I'm going to do a couple of them. So does anybody or any of you guys into Lord of the Rings? It's the 20th anniversary of the Fellowship premiere in December. Just saying. So I'll definitely be watching those all again. I watch them all the time anyways. I'm a total Lord of the Rings nerd. And I like The Hobbit too, but the Lord of the Rings is better. I think. I like them better. Anyway, cut this one out. Just gotta be careful. I just wanted to be able to kind of show you guys how these turn out. Of course, you know, you could always just collage on just any kind of like you know, like on craft paper, that kind of craft paper that comes on a roll. Sometimes I like to collage on that and then you know, cut it into the right squares to use the you know, the envelope maker board thing, and then just make envelopes with it. But I like using the avocado or coffee dyed envelopes for some reason. I always wind up with boxes of envelopes from the thrift stores. It's like people buy like boxes of them from wherever because they're going to make invitations or something like that, and then they never wind up using all the envelopes, and they always wind up at the thrift store. Anyway, so we'll just cut those two. And then you can still see our creases. There we go. I'll use my bone folder. Oh, of course, this one turned out upside down. Wasn't paying attention. So, see this is actually the top flap. This is the bottom. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this like that, and then kind of round off these corners. There, and then nobody will know. Cool. And this one gotta be careful when you're like refolding them up that, you know, you're folding on the right line. Sometimes the book pages will crack a little bit, you know, like right here. And when that happens, I just like to use like an emery board, nail file, sort of. Okay. I mean, basically that's what I wanted to do, was just, you know, cover these envelopes with book pages. But I just thought it would be kind of fun to do, you know, just add like a little label or something like that. I mean, I could go crazy and do even more like collaging on them. Let's do something else on that big one. I want to use like some tissue or some napkin or something like that. But on these smaller ones, just add a label. I'm going to use different glue. Actually, hold on. Whoops. Yikes. There. And then I'm going to stitch around the entire border of this envelope. I'll do just a row of stitching on the sewing machine. And then let me get some more of these done and decide what I want to, exactly how I want to finish them all off. And then I'll just do another video and, you know, show you guys kind of how I'm gonna finish them, because I have some ideas, some other things that I think I want to try to do. But all right, let me make sure I have this the right way again. Like to use some of those, some of the I just need more room on my desk. That's the bottom line. I need like an executive desk, like a big L-shaped desk. What I was going to say is I want to use some of the stickers from the botanist sticker book. Well, that's perfect page. And I do glue these down. I have one of these left. So that's the top. That's the top. This is the top. Okay. And then to kind of kick down the starkness of the white, I'm just gonna do a little bit of tissue right over the top of this sticker. And you can still see it, but I haven't been using ink as much as I used to. But, you know, you could obviously use just a little bit of ink, a little bit of like distress ink or something on there. This is some of that copy paper from it's a book of copies of letters that I also got from Louise. It's really cool. It's just super thin tissue. And it becomes very translucent when it's glued down. Okay, so that, and then I'm just going to add a little bit more going to add a little bit more on here. Just to add some interest. Kind of go over that dictionary image a little bit. Whoops. I forgot. You have to be kind of gentle with this stuff. Like, I totally ripped it. I do like to make sure that my little rag or baby wipe is pretty damp when I do this, and just dabbing it. And then maybe some this is one of those Stamperia collage papers, you know. There's always the Tim Holtz collage paper too. Let's see. Maybe just do a strip of that right along there. So basically the, the book pages just kind of give a nice base for collage. I think that's upside down, but it doesn't matter. Just a nice background to add, to add other stuff. Let's see. Do maybe a little bit of washi. Let's do a little strip of washi right here. And some masking tape. I love masking tape. Let's put a little strip of masking tape right here. Gotta be really careful going over that tissue, that copy tissue. Masking tape is fun because it's like translucent too. Let's use the other piece down here somewhere. Okay, so I'm going to let that dry and then trim around, trim off all of this stuff around the edges. It'll be, kind of a challenge with the tape and the sticker and stuff, but, and then, fold it back up, and do some stitching and that kind of thing. Let me get a whole bunch more of these done. And then I'll come back and show you some of the different ways that I'd like to finish them off. Like I want to add some closures on some of them, and maybe some magnets, or I was thinking it would be really cool to do like some sari silk ties on them and stuff like that. So, and some of those I thought it would be cool to stitch it on. So anyway, maybe Velcro or something. And then I also thought it would be kind of fun to do a couple pockets on the inside of these and just make them like little folios that I can tuck little tags and stuff into. I used to make those all the time and I haven't done it for a long time. So sometimes I like to add a little bit more tissue over the top of the masking tape if I feel like it's going to lift. But if you glue it down, it's pretty good, So anyway. All right, so that's my project, and I will be back. I'll make another video probably in a couple days, and show you how these are going to turn out. So, okay, guys. All right, I love you. Don't forget to leave a comment, and if you have not subscribed to my channel, please consider doing that, and make sure you hit the little button to get notifications when I make a new video. So anyway, okay guys, I love you. All right, bye for now.